Imagine this. You're at a networking event surrounded by potential clients, colleagues, and industry leaders. You know that building connections is key to your success, but where do you start? The answer lies in mastering the art of small talk. Welcome everyone on today's video on the importance of mastering small talk in a business setting, which is a powerful tool that can open doors to new opportunities, foster strong professional relationships, and set the stage for success in the business world. So whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, stay tuned to learn how you can turn small talk into your secret weapon. So let's see what it takes. Okay, so let's start with our tips and tricks for great small talk. Have approachable body language. It is very important when you go and approach someone, especially a stranger that you've never met before, to go with a positive body language so they realize, they identify that you are coming in a friendly manner. Take the initiative to be the first one to say hello. Now, I know this is difficult for many of you and not everybody is an extrovert, but something that can help you is point 3. You can begin with a hello, so begin with a statement, and continue with a question to take the pressure off of you, and ideally an open-ended question. Let me give you an example. You can approach someone and say, "Hello, is this the first time you're coming to this presentation?" So the other person is going to give you an answer and going to move on the conversation. And you can do the same thing with your answer. So if this person says, "Yes, actually, it is the first time I'm coming here, but I'm finding it quite good. How about you?" Then you can give a response as a statement and continue with a follow-up question. For example, "Yes, actually, it's my first time as well, but I think it's going to be quite good. Are you looking forward to it?" Now, let's move on to listening, responding, and asking for more information. If the other person is willing to speak, let them speak. And what you should be doing is listening to them and boosting their confidence. Say things like, "What you just told me is fascinating," or "I really find your approach very interesting." What you want to do is be focusing on the other person rather than on yourself. Allow your conversation partner to teach you things. Everybody loves to feel that they're an expert and that they have knowledge that they can transfer over. So if they have something to teach you, appreciate it. Keep the tone light and positive until you find a topic in which you're both interested in. So it's most possible that after a while you will find a common interest like sports or vacation locations, but before you reach that point, try to avoid issues like politics, religion, or anything that gets very personal. And last but not least, always close the conversation before walking away from the other person. So you should always thank them for the conversation and then politely signify that you're going to move on to talk to another person. For instance, you could say, "Thank you very much for this lovely conversation. I now have to move on to my other colleagues, so I look forward to seeing you soon." Okay, let's build up the vocabulary, so the specific words that you can use in these situations. We are going to go through some scenarios. Let me remind you that this presentation is downloadable at the description of this video, so if you would like to revise it after this lesson and take a look at these expressions on a bigger screen on your laptop, feel free to do so. So let's start with the first situation. When you're starting a conversation, it could go something like this. "I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Paula." "Nice to meet you. I'm Emma." "Pleased to meet you, Emma. How are you enjoying the conference so far?" "It's been great. I've met so many interesting people and it's a nice break from the office, to be honest." Have you been to one of these conferences before? Yes, I was at the one in Glasgow a couple of years ago. What about you? Well, I hope you enjoy yourself and look forward to seeing you soon. Let's talk about our backgrounds now. Hi, Jason said that you're from Manchester. How long have you lived here? I moved here in 2007. Oh, that's quite a while. I've always wanted to go to Manchester. What is the nicest part of the city to visit? Well, there are many landmarks, but I think the most popular one is the football stadium. Yes, of course, you're right. Of course, Manchester is famous for its football. Yes, that's right. But there are many other great things to discover as well. Now, let's talk about family. I think I remember you said that you have 3 kids. Is that right? Yes, just the 3. Just the 3? Sounds like a bit of a handful to me. It's getting easier now that they're older. They can even be quite good company sometimes. And you have a dog too, don't you? Well, we did, but he passed away last year, unfortunately. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Losing a pet is awful. Yes, it is. Anyway, let's talk about something cheerier. The weather, something that British people love to talk about, and a conversation could go something like this. I can't believe the weather we've been having. Rain, rain, rain. It's so depressing. Yes, I know. I heard that it's supposed to get better by the end of the week. Really? Isn't that what they said last week? Yeah, well, you can't really trust the weather forecast. It's the time of year, though, isn't it? It's always miserable in January. What kind of weather do you have in Manchester? Quite similar, actually, depending on where you're located. I hope we see some sunny weather next week. I'm off on vacation with my family. I'm sure it will improve soon. Hope you have a great time with your family. Next up is saying goodbye. Is that the time? I'd better get back to work. Listen, it was lovely catching up. I'm so glad I bumped into you. It was great to see you too, Susan. It made my day. Give me a call next week you're in London. I will for sure. Have a safe trip back home and a great time in the Maldives. Thanks, I will. Take care. Okay, so what we're looking at here are some role-playing scenarios. So in order for you to practice at home, and whenever you have a little bit of time, I have created some topics that you can think about and think about how you would like to answer them when meeting people for the first time. Now, these topics can be about work and location. There are 5 questions there that you can go through. Transport for work, another 5 questions. The weather, and of course, food and drinks. Now, if you want to take this to the next step and think about international topics of interest, I have 5 questions for 4 different new topics here. The COVID pandemic, which has been discussed a lot, of course, the previous years. The financial crisis, climate change, and of course, topics around digitization, technology, and artificial intelligence. So the next time you find yourself in a room full of strangers, remember that every great conversation starts with a small conversation. Mastering small talk can transform your professional life by building rapport, gaining trust, and opening new avenues of collaboration and growth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our latest tips and insights. Until next time, remember, in the business world, it's often the little conversations that make the biggest impact.